Hey everyone, welcome back. I am going to use a few different sort of added pieces, like the stamp set from Lawn Fawn and a stencil from MFT, as well as the grassy border from Lawn Fawn and the picket fence from Lawn Fawn at least. Can't talk today. And I'm going to take some watercolor paper, because I really like how watercolor paper and distress ink or any sort of ink, how it blends on there. It just gives it lots of texture and lots of dimension without actually being dimensional. I don't know why, but I just adore it. So I think this is about, well, it's not quite 5 by 7. I actually cut this down quite a bit, and you'll see that in a little while. But I started with kind of a 5 by 7 size. So I'm going to take some peacock feathers, distress ink, and a blending brush. This is actually a makeup brush, so super cheap. And I'm going to just start on the stencil and then move off the stencil to create these clouds. And I think I mentioned it was MFT, but this is their cloudy or clouds border. No. Stencil. And I use this quite a lot, in case you haven't noticed. I love the stencil. It's just super easy to use, and every side of the stencil has a different arrangement of clouds, so it makes for really easy not only blending but also to get different variations in the clouds, so the puffy clouds look different but they're essentially the same. So I've gone most of the way, if not all, pretty much all the way down the card, and I love how this looks. It's so pretty, and you could do a sky in any color. I decided on a pale blue because it was, it's a spring card, this very much Easter themed, this card, but I like the the texture and the brightness of the blue as well. So on a piece of, I think this is Lemon Lime Twist, Stampin' Up! Cardstock from a long time ago. They no longer sell it, and I used Mowed Lawn over the top, again just with a ink blending brush, aka makeup brush. And then I realized that between my picket fence and my grassy border, I think they're about 5.5 wide, so that's roughly what I cut this down to. In fact, I think that is what I cut it down to. So because I realized that my fence was shorter than I wanted it to be. And if I thought about it, which I didn't, I would have just used, there's like a, a gate that is also part of that die set. So I could have used the gate as part of the, to extend that fence, and cut more grass. So I could have done it that way too. So this is about, I'd say about 5.5 by, not 7, 5.5 by 5 inches. If I've done the math right on that. Yeah, it must be 5.5 by 5 inches. And so with the fence border, I just stuck that, I glued it flat, and the same with the grassy border, and just sort of layering them up. I just wanted some scenery in the background that just starts to build what's going to happen, or what the whole scene will look like in the end. And so that's what I started to sort of build up there. And I often start with that. I often start with the background scene, and then I add all the characters and all the fun stuff, shall we say. But I always start with the scene. I always think about what I want the whole scene to look like. So is it a springy thing? Is it a summer beach theme? Whatever. And that's what I'll start with. Now all these cuts are from the Cricut Cricut 2 cartridge, I believe. And so we've got a chocolate bunny, there's the Easter basket, and there are the 2 styles of egg, which actually cut at the same time, so I just cut them out 3 times and landed up with 6 eggs, and all the layers. So it's all it creates like a really cool looking Easter egg. And then the Easter basket comes in 2 layers, so the grassy, or what would be the filling of the basket, is actually the whole shape, and then you have the purple bit that goes on top. So it's just what I thought would look kind of cute. And I love these colors together. These colors work really nicely together. And so before I carry on, I'm going to put my sentiment on, which is from the Hoppy Easter lawn fawn stamp set. It's a little, one of the littler, that's not a word, smaller stamp sets. And I just used the Hoppy Easter, and I placed that just in the top right there. And the reason I stamped it in black as opposed to brown, because that would make more sense to use that, is because my bunny actually has some black in him. So whenever I'm trying to decide what color my sentiment needs to be, I look at whether or not the color I want to choose. So normally it'll be black or brown for the most part. Sometimes I change it up and really do different colors, but mostly it'll be black or brown. And I look at whether I've got those colors within the images that I'm using. So if I'm stamping in images, then I will usually stamp them in black. But if I've stamped them in brown, then maybe I'll do the sentiment in brown, so that it just all ties in. It just looks more uniform, and I don't know, just works better for me, for my brain. I'm a little OCD with something, so can't help it. But if that doesn't bother you, then just do what you want to do. In fact, do what you want to do anyway. This is your project, you know. But yeah, I like my things to coordinate as close as and be a little bit matchy, but not totally. And I like things to sort of I don't know, I like things to go together well, so I do try hard to do that. So for some of these elements, I've actually put some foam adhesive on parts of it, and then a sort of normal double-sided adhesive on the other part, so that everything levels up and will lay flat, as so to speak. So it's all, even though it's raised up, it's all on one level. So you don't basically, you're not going to have these sort of pieces that are a bit wonky or sitting squonk on another piece, because of how you lay where you put the foam and the double-sided tape. So hopefully that makes some sense. But so I'm just arranging all my eggs in the basket. We obviously saw that earlier. And now these leftover eggs, I just thought it looked cute with the chocolate bunny, and just arranged, you know, just in front of the basket. Could not decide on this last egg, so in the end it kind of gets just stuck. I think what happened was I totally forgot where it was when I originally decided roughly where I wanted everything to go, and so I just couldn't make up my mind. So you'll see in a second, it just it starts to stick on its own because I take the backing off for the adhesive, and so that's where it's stuck. So I should like that. It's just there now. So yeah, and then these leftover butterflies are from a project from last week, the week before maybe, with a full lawn fawn shadow box card that I did, and they are, I believe, from the Mushroom House lawn fawn dies, and so and they're lovely little butterflies. So I just thought the color worked really nicely as well. It's just a change from the pinks and purples and yellows and greens of the basket and all the eggs and everything, to have just some more blue coming into it. And then also with a lot of my butterflies or winged things, I will only put the adhesive in the middle, and I will bend the middle so that the wings look like they're floating, or flap it. No, butterflies don't flap. Flutter. Oh my word. And so I've also cut down my 5x7 card so that my main image, and that will sit on the front there quite nicely, and just stuck that flat with some wet adhesive. Now I decided this is where you can also add some extra to your cards, is to add a shimmer pen. So I'm using a Spectrum Noir Clear Sparkle, I think it's called, and it's like a clear shimmery sparkly pen. It's fab. It's got like a white glitter in it, or like a clear glitter in it, very much like the Aqua Shimmer from Nouveau, as opposed to like a Wink Stella has like a gold shimmer in it. And then over the top of that, one of my favorite things to do is to then add like glossy accents or like the Nouveau Crystal Glaze. It's just that with the shimmer underneath is just like wow when it dries. Don't know why, but I'm in love with it. And then another way to accent things and just highlight areas is to use a white gel pen. This is a Sakura Jelly Roll pen. And I always forget this thing. It's on my desk, but I always forget it. I have like a gold and a silver, like all the, if you're going to get pens like this, get the gold, the silver, the white, black, and the clear. And the clear again has like a gold tint in it of glitter. And it just highlighting little areas like this. I'm not careful about where light sources are. I'm not careful about I don't even know how these line things work. I just do what makes sense for me. So, and that's what you should do as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one, guys. It's been fun, all these little cards, but this was great. And this was again another way that you could use your Cricut cuts to create a scenery card. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Thanks for all the likes. That's the same as a thumbs up. All the subscribing and all the messages and comments and things. I thank you so much. I can't do this without you. So I will see you next time, guys. Bye.